Я подтверждение ситуации передаю на стройку. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I dig it.
All right, so this is the student of the gun collaboration with Spikes Tactical. It's called the Lexington and Concord. It's an instrument of liberty.
Instrument of liberty. Does it
That's
come
right.
with the bayonet?
No, it doesn't come with a bayonet.
Oh, dude.
But it's got a mid-length gas system, so it puts the front sight housing right where it needs to be. Unlike short ones, if you had a short gas system and a 16-inch barrel, there'd be that much barrel sticking out.
Yeah. There's Evan.
Hey, what's up, hippie?
Hey, guys.
So,
how we doing?
This is the new OKC Marine Corps bayonet, the current issue.
Who's OKC?
Ontario Knife Company.
Ontario Knife Company, okay.
Yep. So, yeah, we got the fixed stock.
Is it
It's an
18
A1
inch?
length,
18?
16-inch full profile barrel.
16 inch.
Night vision tritium sights. Can't hardly see them, but tritium sights. Got a flashlight mount right there.
Yeah. Is that Magpul handguard?
Magpul handguard, Magpul pistol grip, Spikes Tactical upper and lower.
I like it,
Yeah.
man. It looks good. It looks old school. So you're doing
it's
this with spikes.
Supposed to be rugged and reliable. 6 pounds, 14 ounces empty. And it comes with, because we're all about enlightenment and education,
Yeah.
it comes with the martial application of the rifle book by me, the student of the gun target. It comes with a Galco slick strap, which isn't on it right now, and frog lube sample, plus a letter congratulating you on your purchase of an instrument of the instrument of liberty.
How about that?
Yeah, that's right.
And where can people get these?
Well, they can go to spikestactical.com.
Okay, they give them directly from Spikes.
Yep, go to the completed rifles section and just order it from them.
Direct from. Do you have a link on your website also?
Yeah, well, in our radio show, in the radio notes we do, but just go to Spikes, go to Complete Rifles, and it'll say, the student of the gun, Lexington and Concord, an instrument of liberty. Because that's what rifles are supposed to be in the hands of citizens, right? Yeah. Instruments of liberty.
The Minutemen.
That's right. Any militiamen or Minuteman, any Minuteman would be proud to have this in their hands.
So check it out. Here it is. I'm on Spike's Tactical website right now. Student of the gun, the Lexington and Concord, an instrument of liberty, $1,130, and it comes with 2 books.
No, 1 book.
1 book. Oh, and the lube.
And the lube.
And the Galco.
And the slick strap and the target and all that good stuff.
That's a good looking rifle, though. I love those butt stocks.
What are your what's your backup sight? Is that a Magpul backup sight too?
Yeah, it's an M-Bus. It comes with the M-Bus. It doesn't come with an EOTech. It's ready to go out of the box. It's got the night vision tritium front sight. It's got the M-Bus backup sight.
I need to do a rifle.
Aren't you building like a 458 right now?
I've got a 223 and a 458, but I hadn't got all the stuff yet.
Yeah. How you been, Paul?
Oh, I've been good.
Yeah.
Busy like a one-legged ass kicker.
That's what I like to hear. Wanted to thank you for this book again, the Pipe Hitter's Guide. I love it, man. I've been about halfway through it. I've been reading it right before I go to bed, and it's awesome.
Is that the one to small arms, or which one's that?
Yeah, small arms. Yeah, I just barely got it from the last show you guys were on, and the question I asked, I guess, got it. But no, I love it. It's been great. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you to Nicholas Orr.
Yeah, and I referenced Marco's book in there.
I know. I got to that spot about halfway through.
So this one in my paws is the VEPR-12.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the VEPR-12. I really like it. You know, a lot of them that were coming in. Can we talk about this shit right now?
I mean, we can.
Okay.
It's going to be out of order, but
well, okay.
we can do it.
Hey, Leadheads, Dwight Settle with Seal One. Just here to talk to you and tell you a little bit about our product. Seal One CLP Plus is a bio-based, non-toxic product. It comes in a paste, liquid, aerosol, and pre-saturated bore-specific patches called sealskins. They all do the same thing, just different methods of application. The best way to use our product is to start with a clean firearm. There's two reasons why I say that. First, you start with the Seal One CLP Plus by field stripping your firearm and covering the entire firearm inside and out, bore, barrel, everything with the Seal One CLP Plus. You'll see how easy it spreads around. You'll want to wait about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you come back and you want to wipe it all off. So you see how easy it is to put on and remove. And the second reason we say to use a clean firearm is you'll find that it's not clean. We're going to pull out more carbon that's been left behind with whatever product you've been using before. Okay, it takes about 3 cleanings. So I like to say a clean shoot, clean shoot, clean shoot. Just normal usage before the Seal One CLP Plus has removed whatever product that you were using before and has seasoned the firearm. It's kind of like breaking in a cast iron skillet. And after that first cleaning, you will notice a difference. And with each successive cleaning, you will find that it gets easier and easier to clean. Seal One CLP Plus is a dry lubricant and is designed to work as such. You will find that malfunctions are virtually eliminated when used properly, because the majority of all malfunctions are caused to carbon buildup. And with the Seal One CLP Plus, the carbon does not build up. Seal One CLP Plus is safe on all metals, plastics, composites, polymers, rubber, wood, and leather. Seal One CLP Plus is a one-and-done formulation. No other products are required or needed to clean and lubricate and protect your firearm. That's why we say Seal One and done. Seal One is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for a 25% off discount.
So I did an episode last year with Dissident Arms, and we talked a little bit about the history, but I know Marco probably want to deep dive into the history, so we'll just go ahead and get started while we're waiting on Marco, everybody. So Paul just introduced you to his new rifle, the Student of the Gun Concord. What is it?
Lexington and Concord.
Very cool. And what made you want to do that?
Well, we've been referring to, ever since we turned our microphones on, I've been saying, hey, America, you need to start looking at your rifle not as a range toy or a collector's item or even a hunting implement. You need to start looking at your freaking rifle as an instrument of liberty. And when somebody tries to take it away from you, understand that they're not trying to take away your range toy. They're trying to take away your liberty. A rifle in the hands of a citizen is supposed to be an instrument of liberty. So we've been yakking about that for a long time now. And I said, why don't we create a manifestation of an instrument of liberty? And, I believe that, well, I don't believe it. I know that the AR-15 is the number one rifle in the United States of America, thanks to the liberals. That's crazy. Before the 1994 crime bill, people who owned black rifles were a tiny little niche. It was a little tiny niche market in the United States. And then they lost their minds. They're like, we got to ban them. And so most people that never even would have thought about buying one or wanted one, all of a sudden they're like,
They created the craze.
Yeah, they're like, well, what is this all about? And if they don't want me to have it, I probably need one.
Yeah.
And so 10 years later, they went from a tiny percentage of Americans owning AR-15s to a massive, huge. It is the number one most owned centerfire rifle in the United States, hands down. Well, that means that there's more parts, accessories, magazines, ammunition for that gun in the United States than any other gun, even the AK. So it was pretty obvious that I needed to, spec out an AR. So I looked at it and I was like, I don't want it to be a game toy. I don't want it to be a competition gun. None of that crap. It needs to be robust and reliable. A serious, robust, reliable gun.
Battle rifle.
Yeah. Something that you could, like, if you drop it in the mud or on the ground or whatever, pick it up and just shoot it. And so I've spent enough time with AR-15s in my hand, I don't know, 35 years or so, that I know that the mid-length gas system is, if you got to have a 16-inch barrel anyway. I mean, if you can have.
Where's your mic at? I'm going to interrupt. Where's your mic at on that thing that's dangling? Is it on?
It's right here.
It's right there. It's rubbing on your shirt when you're talking.
Want me to take my shirt off?
Yeah, baby.
Are you trying to get me? Are you trying to get me to take my shirt off?
That or just hold it away from your shirt.
This is streaming live to OnlyFans, so yeah.
And to sit here for the whole show.
Was that the tactical badger you got on your shirt?
That's
Look at
a
that.
way cool shirt.
That's the honey badger, man, from Black Hills.
Rad.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, that's a cool.
Yeah,
shirt.
that's the Black Hills honey badger right there.
I like that.
So, anyway. If you're going to have a 16-inch barrel, you don't need a short gas system. And so we went with a mid-length because, quite frankly, it's a better system.
That's what I go with when I build mine. I always go with the mid-length.
Yeah. And it pushes the front sight housing out where it needs to be so that if you're a free man or a free woman, you want to put a bayonet on your gun, which you should.
Hey, or a chainsaw or a spike.
Yeah, a chainsaw, whatever. Flamethrower. We went with the A2 front sight housing, obviously because of bayonet lug, but also because I wanted it to be robust. I didn't want a flip-up, fold-down thing that could break or snap off.
Yeah.
We went with the night vision tritium front sight because if you're going to have iron sights, you want to be able to see your sight, and night vision makes the best. They make the best AR-15 tritium front sights that are available.
Yeah.
So we went with them. And then I decided to go with the fixed stock because, the truth of the matter is most people just pull their stock out and they leave it. We have this weird belief that retractable makes it more tactical. It's just easier to store. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But I also wanted it to be, like I said, robust. And if you needed to crack a coconut or a watermelon with that buttstock, you can do it.
Yeah. Well, and where did you get that from? Who makes that one?
The stock?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they sourced it from.
Okay, because I don't think Magpul makes one like that, do they?
Who does?
I don't think Magpul makes one like that, do they?
No.
Okay.
No, they sourced it from somebody else.
I got you.
But I told them, I said, I want an A1 length because despite the fact that I am a Marine, the Marine Corps screwed up the AR-15 when they put the A2 length stock on it.
Yeah.
The A1 length was the correct length. Yeah. It's kind of like we've talked about AKs. Marco and I and you, we understand that the original AK stock length is the correct length. And when they put the U.S. American extra long one on there, it's wrong. It's fucking stupid, quite frankly.
Did you do anything special with your buffer tube?
No, it's stock.
Standard buffer tube and weight?
And that's another thing is the bolt carrier and the bolt carrier group is stock, mil-spec. It's a full bolt carrier. It's not any of this lightened up, drilled hole, titanium competition bullshit.
You don't need any of that.
Where you have to change the weight of the buffer, change the weight of the buffer spring. No, there's nothing competition on that gun at all because competition leads to, well, at least a breaking.
So is it a spikes barrel, spikes BCG, spikes trigger?
Spikes BCG,
spikes lower,
full profile
upper
barrel. The forged upper, forged lower.
Very nice. And does it say Lexington and Concord on the? Is it engraved on there?
No, and you know why? We talked about that. We kicked it back and forth. We're like, well, if we take our lower and we do special engraving on it, we're going to have to add
cost.
And I didn't want it to be a if you look, it's probably one of the least expensive stock rifles on their website. And I did that on purpose because I wanted it to be affordable. So it's 100% made
Yeah,
in the
Spikes
USA rifle.
is proud of their rifles.
Well, they are, and they are for a reason, because they make tough, 100% made in the USA, well-built rifles.
Yeah, I don't know that they need to be that expensive, but yours is very affordable, especially for what you're getting on this, with all the features that you've got, and the additional, the sling, the lube, and of course the book. The Martial Application of the Rifle by Paul Markel. Look at there. So does this remind you of back when you were in the Marines? Is that why you kind of made this design?
Well, I like I said, I've been, I started out in the Marine Corps in '87 with the M16A2. And then, it morphed. I never had an A1 when I was active duty. They went out in like '83. Yeah. But I've seen the changes with the M4 and the M4A1 and the, all the different stuff. And yeah, if you're running a 14.5-inch barrel, okay, use a short gas system, use a cut down barrel. But it's obviously we didn't want to make it a class 3 item. So, 16 inches is the way to go. And I went with an A2 flash hider compensator because they're robust and you can slip the bayonet over them.
Yeah, and you can change it out if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, if you don't have one of these or something similar, but there's.
I want to get me another one with the front post sight. I used to have a couple like that, and I changed them out. So I really like that look on those.
Every citizen, not everyone, every citizen should have at least one rifle onto which you can affix a bayonet.
There you go. And there it is. So go to Spike's Tactical Lead Heads and just go under the complete rifles, and there's right now, it's the very first one that comes up. Look at there. You guys are first in the rotation. How sweet is that?
Yeah.
How sweet it is. But this is the Talking Lead AK Corner.
It is.
But, I mean, you can't talk AKs without talking AR sometime. And we do have the AK versus AR episode still coming up this year. I think we're going to save that for the last episode of the year. We're going to
there you go. That makes sense.
A battle royale. So
nice.
Give me a little time to build my team and let Dooley build his team up. Who wants to be on my team? Raise your hand. Team AK. Actually, I'm the neutral party, so.
Yeah, you have to be the moderator.
I'm the moderator. Yeah. That's what it is, yeah. I'm going to moderate. But welcome in, Leadheads. Appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Talking Lead AK Corner. This is our, September edition of the Talking Lead AK Corner. And we're going to talk shotguns. We're going to talk AK shotguns this episode. We did an episode last year with the guys from Dissident Arms, Mike and Lan with Dissident Arms. And it was a very good episode, really good episode. I went back and listened to it a couple of days ago, and full of great information. But I think we talked a little more about their stuff and their customization, and we did more like race gun talk. So I wanted to get full and focus on just the AK style shotguns. So, and we may talk some other ones too, because there's some pretty cool. Look at my little buddy here. I got my new little buddy. This is Beatrice. I'm babysitting for Drew.
Okay.
Drew went out of town. That's why Drew's not joining us this episode. Otherwise, he would be on. But he and wifey went out of town, so I told him I'd babysit for him, puppy sit.
Oh.
So that's Beatrice. She's a good girl. She's real good. She might jump up from time to time. But Marco is supposed to join us. Again, he is running late, so here I come, he says. So he'll jump on any minute now.
Is he on MPT? Is he on Marco people time?
You're right. I think he's still on Russian time. I don't know. But,
he's on Moscow time.
I'm going to buy him a
Moscow
watch.
Central time.
I'm going to buy him a watch. But yeah, so and Marco wasn't on that episode either. So I know a lot of you have been wanting to get Marco's take on the shotguns, and of course Paul has extensive experience and knowledge with the AK 12 gauges, and then Evan, my cameraman and social media expert, Evan Floodman, joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Sir. Welcome in,
hello.
Floodman. And you've got some pretty extensive hands-on here recently too with some of the shotguns.
Yeah, so I've had I'm sure I'll get burned for it, but Saga or Saiga, however you want to say it. But
I say Saiga.
Yeah, I've had a Saiga-12 since 2012. I think I got it right before they banned the import, which was 2014. And I bought it, brand new from a department store, unconverted. So I've had that for years. And then I have the KUSA KS-12, which they're fun, man. I love AKs, so. Yeah, I had to have at least a couple of the 12 gauges. Always wanted the VEPR. Haven't been able to get my hands on one. But yeah, I really love the just the whole AK pattern theme behind it. I think it's hard to find a reliable mag-fed 12 gauge, and finding them, in the AK pattern, I think was an important thing for me, because I always thought, hey, AKs are reliable. The shotgun's got to be there. So, they certainly have their downfalls with really cheap ammo, like any good firearm will. But no, they're tons of fun. So stoked to be on the show tonight. I don't know how much knowledge I'll be able to bring to the history behind them. Know a little bit, but we'll wait for.
That's okay. We'll let you chime
Marco
in
for that one.
Chime in as you fill in.
Just refer to the Nick's book there about shotguns.
Yeah, that's true. We did talk about that.
That's right. Hold that up. Show them that book you got.
Me a real mag in it.
Yeah, you. That's only been a month. Was it last month?
Yeah, last episode.
Yeah, it was last month.
Yeah, we did sniper rifles. We talked sniper rifles. That was a good episode.
Gigantic drum.
Look at you with the drum, baby.
How does it work?
This drum works well. This is the MD Arms. This drum works well. These drums, the 12 round from Pro Mag, aren't the best. They're fun.
No.
Yeah, Pro Mag.
Pro Mag sucks.
So I can get it to feed sometimes if I use black. The graphite lube, that dust lube. But it's hit and miss.
You need to just throw that in the trash, dude. It's not even.
No, come on, man.
Give that to a homeless person.
So I showed this last year. I still have the Comrade, rocking the. It's just the shorter version of the one you've got.
Yeah.
The one that you're running. So this is the Comrade. I don't know what legal state this is in these days, but it
varies from minute to minute, hour to hour.
Yeah. But this was neither a rifle or a shotgun. It was just a firearm in the computer.
It's a firearm. It's like the Shockwave. The Shockwave is a firearm.
It's just just a firearm. So I don't know the classification of it.
There he is.
There's the man.
Marco, we're going to buy you a watch.
Polo.
Marco.
Sorry about that one again. Good Lord.
Your pipes didn't burst this time, did they?
No.
You're not underwater?
Not this time. I mean, no excuses. I can't. I'm just outright freaking late, and I should be punished for it.
All right, we're going to admonish you. You're admonished. So, but I got to ask, whose birthday is it, Paul? You got a big happy birthday thing behind you.
It was my wife's birthday last week.
Oh, well, happy birthday, wife.
Oh, happy birthday, yeah.
So you all week, is it an all-week celebration?
Yeah, I just didn't take it down.
Yeah. I see that.
Well, since we're in celebrations, I just celebrated my 31st anniversary.
On
September 11th.
Nice. I thought you were about to say birthday.
31st anniversary of coming out of the closet, or what?
See,
and that too, but don't tell anyone.
I had my anniversary on the 11th too.
Oh, really?
Well, it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. I'm 4 years clean. 4 years cancer free.
Cancer free. Nice.
Oh, congratulations.
Dude. Congrats.
All right, buddy.
That's awesome.
All right.
So,
awesome.
Have you had a checkup? You going back in? Everything's no. No. Fuck the doctor.
Just running on luck on that one.
Cool. Good for you, man.
Yeah, when the vid hit, they're like, we can just do phone appointments. I'm like, okay.
Like, yeah. That's how serious I need to come in. Screw y'all. Well, congratulations. I know you've been working hard at it too, man, with your diet and your exercise. You're always hitting the gym. Looking good, bro. What do you do? What are you squatting now? What do you have to, like, 500?
I squat a barbell. It's an Olympic barbell. It has 2-inch rings, 2-inch collars on it.
Yeah. Okay. And so Evan also, I mean, we're into physical fitness now. So Evan also started working out, getting in shape.
About time. Yeah. So funny story. So the mountain that I live on, people will like leave whatever they don't want at the bottom of the mountain by these dumpsters, and someone left a treadmill. So I was like, all right, treadmill. So I grabbed it, and that was like 2 months ago.
It wasn't working. Treadmill.
Yeah. It's like this smaller fold-up one. It wasn't working though, and it was throwing these error codes. So I found out it was just missing the magnet. Threw a couple fridge magnets on it. Been running like 2 miles a day. Been lifting some weights, and trying to eat better. It's about time though. I don't go to the gym. I'm not that type of person, so I figured I'd utilize free stuff I find by the dumpsters.
Yeah, you doing the Rocky 4 workout?
Yeah, exactly.
Logs,
yeah. and Barnes doing the sit-ups.
I was lifting a bunch of logs yesterday, actually. So yeah.
So I got to ask Marco, who are you rooting for in Rocky 4, man?
In Rocky 4,
he was rooting for Ivan Drago, man. That's who he was rooting for.
Drago.
Go check this out. So when those movies like starting to come out, like Rambo and Rocky and all this
Red
stuff,
Dawn.
right? So I was like, playing sports really heavily back then, like a real national ranked athlete and stuff. And we were just making fun of that shit. I mean, we couldn't believe how stupid those two movies were. I mean, in conversations when somebody comes up. And since then, it became like this meme that anything Rambo is anyone that is stupid enough to, like, later in the service when somebody was like trying to be tougher than he usually is or something, or trying to prove something, he had a chip on his shoulder. We would say like, oh yeah, he goes fucking Rambo, and things like that. And then of course everybody made fun of that fucking Rocky 4 thing.
Sir, are you saying I can't heal a gaping wound with gunpowder?
No, you can. Oh, you can.
You can make a gaping wound with gunpowder.
It almost sounded like, what are you trying to say, that Jesus Christ cannot hit the curveball?
That's right.
Remember that movie?
No, dude, freaking Clint Eastwood did that in 2 Mules for Sister Sarah.
I haven't seen that.
2 Mules for Sister Sarah.
Boy. 2 Mules for Sister Sarah is
You're
a
reaching
classic.
back.
You gotta watch
writing that one down.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
He cauterized the wound with gunpowder.
The whole thing with all this, like the Hollywood and the wound treatment techniques, it's like taking a bullet out is the main thing, and that's how you save a person's life. We just gotta get the bullet out.
Dig that bullet
out with the knife.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as the bullet comes out, they stop bleeding.
Yeah, the person gets up and is like, "Oh yeah, okay, thank you," and then moves on.
Yeah.
Well, you have to throw the bullet into a metal dish.
Oh yeah,
so that it clinks. Then you're good.
Yeah, the audience otherwise would not buy it.
Yeah. So Marco, we're talking shotguns this episode. AK shotguns.
This time I'm prepared. You
were prepared last time.
If I'm strong enough to lift this one.
Oh, look at it. So what are you showing us?
So I have 2 right here. One of them is, of course, the Molot.
They look like a Molot.
And that was the first one that actually came in for certification by ATF. It's the VEPR-12.
There's the VEPR.
Nice.
And,
Classic
after they, test it and everything, whatever, they conclude that it's importable, then they return the guns. And this is one of the first ones that came in.
Back in the 90s?
No, this happened in, I want to say 2013.
2013?
when the VEPR-12 showed up.
Oh, the VEPR. The VEPR were like 2000, yeah.
Yeah, and I have an interesting story attached to this gun, actually, to this type of gun. And then this thing right here, God knows if I remember what model number this is or what it's called. This actually was brought in by EO Inc. or Interarms.
IO Inc.
Interarms, yeah.
Interarms, actually, manufacturer. And this is EM12B. And it's a Chinese clone, but a good one.
Is it a Lynx?
No, this is
JTS.
Inner Arms.
It's just Inner Arms, okay.
EM12B. So it already
How far
comes
back
with all
does that
this,
go?
Tactical handguard and stuff. It's got adjustable gas block. I don't know if you can see that or not. See that little?
Yeah. Yep. See the adjustable gas block there? Nice.
And actually well designed, but they did with the the rib top cover and stuff.
Is that a 4-position gas system?
Yeah, 2-position. Yeah,
2-position. Okay.
For
low brass.
low brass and tall brass.
So does that run off the same principles of like the VEPR and the Saiga, where it has like the puck inside that gas system that puck hits that piston? It's interesting how they did that for the shotgun as opposed to just like the long stroke piston you see in an AK. Would that still, I've never asked this question, but is that still considered a long stroke gas system even with that puck, or would that be considered a short stroke?
It's a weird hybrid, but it's still considered a long stroke.
Yeah. Okay.
And look, of course, you could see, you can take a gun out of China, but you could never take the China out of gun.
What do we got?
All kinds of gaps and stuff right here,
Oh, up around the safety area there.
Right.
Yeah, which is like, let's say
Selector
if you take
switches.
a Molot, they, the VEPR, that is.
So there's the
You can see
VEPR.
where everything is kind of fitting in.
A little tighter,
Yep.
yeah.
And I like this feature right here.
The
The
little brace.
lever on the safety.
And then on the other side,
Finger
you got
brace.
your thumb safety.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice. Hey there, Leadhead Brigade. Lefty here with some important news for you. Forecasters from the University of Arizona warn that 2023 will be a very active hurricane season, and they're asking people to get prepared. They're expecting the number of major hurricanes this year to be similar to 2017, which saw the extremely intense and damaging hurricanes that we all heard about, Harvey, Irma, and that nasty old Maria. How bad can it get? Well, when Hurricane Ida hit the Gulf Coast, it destroyed countless homes and left many without access to food, clean water. Millions lost power. Most didn't have power for weeks. The floods that followed the hurricane washed out the roads, made it impossible for grocery stores to restock their shelves. Families were left hungry and desperate, waiting for help that was slow to arrive. But what if you didn't have to be reliant on the government, FEMA, your neighbor, grocery stores during these crises? The answer is simple. Be prepared with emergency food kits from 4 Patriots. Their long-lasting, delicious food options are specifically designed to provide you and your loved ones with the sustenance you need when you need it the most. 4 Patriots survival food kits are hand-packed in the USA. They last 25 years. They come packed inside covert storage totes. They include a wide variety of delicious breakfasts, lunches, dinners. They've even got some snacks that are tasty. And they're backed by thousands of 5-star customer reviews. Just go check out their website, 4patriots.com, and read them for yourself. 4 Patriots Survival Food is not just for natural disasters, because in today's world of uncertain supply chains and unpredictable emergencies, it's more important than ever to have a backup plan. Whether it's a temporary power outage, a winter blizzard, or rising food costs, which we're all feeling that these days, right? You can rest easy knowing that you have a reliable source of food to see you through it. And right now, you can go to 4patriots.com and use this exclusive code, LEADHEAD, all caps, LEADHEAD, one word, to get 10% off your first purchase on anything in the store, not just their food kits. So go check them out, 4patriots.com. Use the code LEADHEAD to get 10% off your first purchase of 4Patriots survival food. That's 4patriots.com, guys. Use the code LEADHEAD and get that 10% off. So let's jump in. Let's jump in and do a little history here. So I guess the Saigas are the ones that really kicked it off with the AK shotguns, and that was back in the mid 90s. Was it 94, 97?
Yep. Yeah, they started as just like bird hunting shotguns, is what I was reading into a little bit. They weren't put into manufacturing for, any type of military or law enforcement. It was strictly bird hunting and sporting purposes, and then from there they were utilized more towards, from what I read, is more law enforcement than it was any type of military. But I'm sure Marco can elaborate on that.
Did you read Marco's book? Is that where you're reading this?
No, I was just simple Google history. I need to get myself a copy of that though.
Well,
next time I see you, I'm going to get
this,
signed.
You guys. So there's obviously been spike in those books, right? The sales of those books.
I wonder why.
I just got my royalty check, total of like $40.
$40,
dude.
There was zero for this book. So apparently people bought them, but I don't see anything from it. But.
Dude, I was going to ask you that. Because when I saw that this was up there, I was like, "Oh, he's probably getting boned."
Oh yeah,
He's probably getting boned on royalties.
It hurts. It hurts every time.
I almost felt bad because we promoted this on our radio show, and I thought I'm probably promoting money into the pocket of Gun Digest and not into Marco.
Yeah.
So,
dude,
the next time you want to write a book, contact me, let me know, and we'll figure it so that the money will go to you, not to somebody else.
Well, check this. I've got ties with Simon & Schuster, so I can hook you up with Simon & Schuster.
Well, I have one already 75% written. It's called the Sniper for the Motherland.
Yeah.
So it deals with the development of sniper tactics and rifles.
Did we talk about that last episode?
I think we touched on it. Yeah.
Yeah, we did because
so.
Well, not the book, but on the specifics.
Well,
about that.
Oh yeah, we had the AK sniper episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Saigas and stuff.
Yeah.
So my input here would be, like Evan said, they in the 90s they weren't, Russia was not living through the times of milk and honey, right? So not every spigot was made of gold, and the I'm trying to have this terminology.
Times were tough.
Not every gold spigot, not every spigot was made of gold, and those that were did not disperse the camel milk.
The camel's milk.
Yeah,
can you get milk from a camel?
Yeah,
you can.
Yes,
if you want to.
But anyway,
apparently you get milk from an almond too.
In bad, hard times, and so obviously it touched on everything, including the military. So military did not stop putting in these huge orders for AKs and stuff. So Russia found two of the major arsenals and including some of the smaller ones in the need of survival, and they needed to come up with something that would at least save the core manufacturing. And obviously they always, as they done it in many years before, they always would turn into what they call a civilian conversion, which means in some cases, it's kind of weird, but two major arsenals actually made motorcycles. Well, Izmash made motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
So did Molot, Vetsky Polyane. And to me, as a motorcycle enthusiast, it was interesting to go to their museums and stuff and see some of this.
See motorcycles at a firearm manufacturer?
Yeah. And anyways, so, obviously they saw potential in it. And of course, the Russian government saw potential in trying to preserve that manufacturing. the gun manufacturing in the country. So they went quickly, made the legislation, adopted some of the laws that allowed all those arsenals to build civilian type of guns, for hunting and stuff. And the rules in Russia were that you have to join the hunting club if you want to buy a gun. And for 5 years, you were allowed to own a smoothbore only. And then after 5 years, you would get your license to purchase the rifle.
Yeah.
And
that's communism.
Yeah.
That's Canada, isn't it? Isn't it Canada?
I would call it outright communism right now, but I mean, their idea was that, the person needs to gain a certain experience with a firearm before they get into something more that shoots further and so on, more kind of deadlier type of weapon, which shotgun probably kills more people than the rifle does.
Yeah.
And so anyway, right in the 90s, they start producing, not only that Izmash came up with importable line, which is the AK-100 series, which was came up on their own. Russian government didn't order any of that. So it was their initiative. So they can export guns to different countries. Hence the AK-101 and AK-102 and 5.56. And at the same time, they came up with the Saiga series, which is, obviously were like Monte Carlo stock type of guns and in all the main calibers, the 7.62, 5.05, 5.56. And then, of course, they introduced the Saiga-12. The one that you're shown on your screen right now is a K series, which K stands for Kalashnikov. But it's more of a militarized, if you will, or more of like a tactical, so to speak, model.
Right, it's got the pistol grip on it.
If you look at this just straight up Saiga-12, had a regular Monte Carlo type stock. He still took the magazine, 5 or 8 or 10 round magazine, and had a longer barrel and the handguard like the one in the picture. That didn't have that bar on the top. Yeah. And it proved to be extremely successful, that gun. So, and at the same time, Izmash was starting to import the Saiga rifles because they were approved for importation as a sporting and hunting gun into United States. And I tell you, at the height of their import of various Saigas into United States, they actually imported about 300,000 annually of this rifles and shotguns. So obviously they kind of were a lot of people in the U.S. gun industry. You got to give it a credit. I mean, it's full of talented and people with the great imagination and then willingness to actually put their imagination on the paper, then into the metal, so to speak. So it's immediately became IPSC or a 3-gun competition gun with modifications, turning it into more of a tactical, if you will, or military style type of shotgun. So later, so skip forward to beginning of 2000s. Molot, which was a separate, there you go. That's the gun that they started to bring in, and that was
the original
rounds.
Yeah,
that's what mine looked like originally.
Right, there you go. What is it looking now like?
I can show you. Can I screen share, Marty?
I can take you back here. Screen. There you go. It's that dial.
There we go.
No way.
I turned mine into a bullpup.
No, you didn't.
Way.
Yeah. It's got the cushion pup.
You just lost all Marco's respect.
Well, no,
I can turn it back.
No. Let me hang on. Let me find the words first. So, from what you showed, an original Monte Carlo freaking shotgun with the 22-inch barrel into this thing is what I'm floored by. Wow, who did all the work?
I did. I
Really?
found this company called Kushnapup. They're actually out of Heber City, Utah, and he molded these clamshell. All I had to do was cut the tang off the rear, so you can replace those tangs if needed, and so the gun still can go back to original, or I could do a typical conversion like most people do with the Sagas. But I kind of wanted to go a different route, wanted to be a little bit different. It's not the best to shoot because you got that thing just blasting right by your face, but it's a lot of fun to take out, and I'll go shoot clay pigeons with it and just
just for the hell of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've seen many conversions, and obviously the typical folding stock with pistol grip, shorter barrel type of deal is the typical one.
Yeah.
But Paul, do you have one that's got the Monte Carlo stock, or?
Well,
no, was it?
It's already converted into.
Yeah. Now I've also got the KUSA KS-12. So.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
So is that company in Heber City still in business?
I haven't.
Is that guys? How long's it been?
Oh man, I ordered that probably back in 2013.
What's the name of the company?
Oh, wow.
What's the name of the company?
Okay, because Heber City is just like right next door to me.
Yeah, me too. So, we're like neighbors.
You would think there would be probably 3D printing all those plastic parts now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they could. What's the name of the company, Evan?
All I know is called Kushnapup.
Kushnapup.
With a K?
Yep.
Spell it.
We'll have to look that up.
We'll have to look that up. Let me see if
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, Marty can look it up right now. He's his computer.
Just give me a spelling.
Yeah, KUSHNAPUP.
Kushnapup. Guntweaks.com. There's a review.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing you are.
Truth about guns. Custom Kanush. Doesn't look like they've got a website, though. So
maybe they just have a fax machine.
The fax, probably. Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Like those of us who started collecting stuff like in the mid 90s, for example, and the internet was already around, and you'd be looking and searching and finding like the little pieces and stuff. And sometimes we go to some of the like knife and gun shows, in the Civic Center or in like some kind of temple. And somewhere amongst all these parts, you'll find like a original pistol grip or magazine, Bakelite magazine.
Yeah.
Man, it's kind of like, and then the availability of this stuff and through internet became kind of spoiled it.
You know what this reminds me of? This kit reminds me of Atlas Defense's ZK-22 bullpup conversion for the 22. What is that? The
1022.
Yeah, the 1022 that they have. Yeah, very similar type concept here.
It's a lot of fun, but it's super impractical.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Because the height over bore is crazy.
Yeah,
it's like that much. It's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of one of those things. I was like, gosh, should I convert it? And I didn't know how to do the conversion. I still don't. I'm not that good at gunsmithing. But yeah, kind of want to try something different, so I went with the Kushnapup. But like I said,
it was probably the most dramatic conversion I have ever seen. But in any case, so back to the story.
Yeah.
So Molot, obviously Molot, other than doing some stuff that we don't know about whatever the munitions and some of the grenade launchers and things like that. They also made RPKs, right? So,
Right.
and the RPK kind of through some events, I guess, or some, some people would be saying, fell into the influence of some of this people saying, oh, it's not effective weapon, and our units would get the PKMs instead, and and I have an argument against it because RPK is it's a fine gun. It's an AK on steroids.
It's a saw.
It's a saw.
It's a saw.
And the only thing that was lacking was the 545 drum, right? Drum magazine. Although now it's available. And so anyway, orders fell off for that gun, kind of off the radar, and Molot started to suffer a little. So their VEPR rifles, based on the RPK platform, they kind of were somewhat popular, but they priced so high. I'll tell you something that it will floor you. Those import price for Saiga rifle in the just a regular straight up sporter, right, in the box that came out of Izmash to the U.S. was $140.
$140.
$140.
Wild.
Whereas VEPRs were more like $400.
Oh wow, big difference.
And you could compare the Izmash quality to a Molot quality. It was better. So anyway, they started to struggle just because they couldn't produce this many guns and sell them. And what the Russian government did, they forced Izmash to give the technical documentation for Saiga-12 to Molot. Just give it to them.
Didn't they actually make the parts for them and they just sent it to them and they assembled them?
No. And you can tell by looking at the first of all, it's two different receivers, two different trunnions. Saiga 12 receiver looks like a Type 1 AK-47, so to speak.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, if you look at the side of it. Whereas a Molot has got the RPK trunnion, that swelled up receiver, a little bit beefed up, So anyway, at the time, it was Sergei Ozhumtsev was a chief engineer at the Molot, and he is now chief engineer at the concern Kalashnikov. And I know
still
him
alive?
well. Oh, he's younger than me. He's, if I had to guess, he may be now approaching 50.
Oh wow. Okay.
But he was really talented, smart engineer,
Marco.
a good supervisor.
Why didn't you get him on the show? If he's a good friend, come on.
I could get some people on the show. There's no doubt about it. But it would be, I don't know. I have a hard time picturing how it would actually go on.
You just
with
translate.
them not speaking English and
You just translate.
Translate.
Yeah.
You just gotta call them and be like, by the way, you're on the show.
What one thing we can do
What's that?
is we can have listeners to ask questions of those people, and then maybe we can forward it to them.
Yeah.
And then they may answer them.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So listeners, you got questions for?
Wait. I'm not ready to do.
You're not ready for that yet? Okay.
Let's just keep that on the back pocket, and let's work out the.
Okay. Well, they're going to hear this, so they're going to start.
Then,
they're going to email us.
Let's work out the logistics amongst ourselves, and then we can.
All right, there you go. So hold your emails, leadheads. Hold your emails.
So anyway, Molot gets that technical data package, and then the Sergei Ozhumtsev, he goes and says, well, why do half-ass thing. Let's do a tactical gun to begin with. And he does it. And that's the actual VEPR-12 that came off the line. I mean, just like, well, without the handguard, it was just a regular PK handguard.
Yeah.
But other than that, I had a folding stock. He had a threaded barrel for, that time practical shooting in Russia was up and coming sport, really popular.
Yeah.
And here's the anecdote that I mentioned earlier today. So at Izmash, Izmash fielded a team, like they sponsored the team, practical shooting team, like 3-gun team or whatever, shotgun teams. And they had it all over their booth, their stand at the EVA show and stuff, and they were showing it, how the guys shoot and bam, 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 whatever, that dynamic kind of video.
Yeah.
But Uzhumtsov comes to me and whispers in my ear. He says, "Look at their video. All those guys shooting are VEPRs." And I went and I looked at the sure as hell they wielding the VEPRs. So this whole thing kind of started the competition, and Izhevsk or Izmash came up with Saiga-12 K30. And that was their tactical gun. She had the folding stock, some kind of Picatinis here and there, and so on and so on. So it was, their answer to the Molot, to the VEPR-12.
Now, was that folding stock similar to like the VEPR skeletonized stock, or was that like a folding, like your classic 100 series?
Classic 100 series, yeah. So anyway, and so we at the time were the exclusive. We signed the exclusive contract with them to be importers of this VEPR-12s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got them certified with ATF. That's how I have this one right here. And we're about to put in an order where we see that not one, but 2 companies offering our product at the cheaper price that even what we paid for them. So they did a little dumping. And it was a Legion out of Florida, and it was a Arsenal out of, Tennessee Guns, which now part of Wolf Empire. Offered them at $600. It cost us $750.
And what year was this?
That was like 2013.
Okay, it's about 10 years ago.
So I go to Molot. And I have the exclusive contract. I said, in the words of a fenster from Usual Suspects, "What the fuck?" and Sergei Uzhumtsov says, "Well, you only have exclusive for folding stock. They got the thumb through stocks, but the rest of the gun was exactly the same."
They just changed the stock on it.
Oh my God. And I was like, okay, well, I thought we were friends, but,
What the fuck?
At least you got something, though, right?
No, we didn't get anything.
Oh.
We
nothing.
immediately stopped. Because, I don't want to be involved in the dick measuring contest ever. And if somebody decides that I'm not their go-to, not good enough partner for them, I'm not going to fight. Go and do whatever. And eventually, the
Marco don't share with nobody.
Seriously. What's that?
I said Marco don't share with nobody.
No, I mean, I'm the most generous person, really. I'm trying to be. The thing is, I'm not going to be involved in the dick measuring contest and dumping and all that shit.
So what ended up happening with that? So you got out of it, let them take it over?
Yes, so they even had because, everybody got used to like a $250 Saigas. And all of a sudden there's a VEPR for $600 or $700 and whatever dollars, right? Mm-hmm. And so even with the lower prices, basically at the loss, they couldn't.
Let's talk about the differences in the Saiga and the VEPR, because there are differences.
Yeah, like for the biggest thing I've noticed is the mag, right? How the mag inserts into the VEPR.
Rock and lock versus the insert like an AR style.
The funny thing is, with the Saiga, regular Saiga, like yours, Evan, and I'm not sure about you, Paul, because you got that well on it, right? Mag well?
Yeah.
So the magazines are not interchangeable between just regular Saiga-12 and Saiga-12 K30, which had the mag well. And then to throw more confusion into it, VEPR magazines not interchangeable with any of them.
Right.
So it's kind of like, buzzkill in a way. I was like, all right, I had a Saiga, I had like 10 freaking magazines. Now I upgraded to Molot, and I can't freaking use them. Or, see, here's a mag.
So this one here, this is actually one of the newer ones. This is that VEPR-12 that SDS brought in from China.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's got, it has the universal mag release, right? It's got the paddle, the central paddle, but they pop in straight up.
And are those magazines proprietary to that gun?
No, so is this one right here, right? Also Chinese, right?
Right.
This one, and it takes Saiga magazines. This one.
So,
are you familiar with this one specifically, Marco?
Yes, I am. I've seen them, and I think I even had one for testing.
What pattern are these?
Those are Saiga pattern.
So it's a Saiga pattern. Okay, this is Saiga pattern. All right. Because I know the Catamounts, they did rock. They had a rock in, and then they also had a magwell. They had both.
Right. So both Saiga old and Saiga new patterns. So so Catamount came out with one. Basically, the Chinese found a way to sell their AKs into the United States finally, because they weren't allowed to. But it only, the ban was only on the, rifles, nothing about the shotguns.
Mm-hmm.
And when they looked at the Saiga popularity and success story, they wind up making, their own. And that's Catamount showed up, then this one, then that one. And they did have some of the improvements, but yet leaving some of the very Chinese things on them.
Yeah. So with the differences that we were talking about the magazines, rock and lock on the Saiga versus the VEPR, where you insert like an AR. The gas systems were different also, right?
The gas systems were yes and no. So the VEPR came in with the piston, with the separate piston. Saiga's original Saiga's, I don't believe they had a piston. They had just a regular piston attached to a rod. And whereas a later version, there was and the reason for the piston is because originally that system was not adjustable, right? And in order for you to shoot, like, for example, this VEPR that I have right here shoots high brass like you would not believe. Will eat anything. Right. I put a low brass in there, and then, had a problem every now and then to eject it and blah, blah, blah. So the idea behind that short little piston in there is that you can change it in the gun, right? Take it apart and pull it out and put another one in. And now it's going to shoot the low brass. And I think the Saiga 12K30 also had similar system. So, but the Chinese ones, like this one right here, that 12B whatever.
Hold it up.
The inner arms one.
Hold it up.
It's actually can shoot whatever you want in it.
Hold it up.
Right, and then I didn't even bother with, rotate. Oh, this one. Okay, I didn't even bother adjusting the gas system.
Okay, and that's the one that was from IO.
IO, but it's inner arms. It came with this weird stock. I mean, picture the Russian, like a black 100 series stocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except it was so wide at the bottom. So it kind of flared out down to the bottom. So what I did was I took the Fab Defense spring-loaded tube. I put it in there. It went in just like a regular AK. And I put, I don't know what kind of stock that is. Oh, B5 stock on it. That's too much stock for this gun. But anyway.
We'll get you a minimalist from Mission First.
Okay. Then I'll put that in some decent gun, I guess.
There you go.
So, and of course I want to say January 2014 is when Kalashnikov USA came to be, based on Command Arms. So the concerned Kalashnikov and Command Arms made the deal, this joint venture.
CAA Command Arms?
Right. Okay. The Israeli company, plastic company.
Yeah.
To make a joint venture to create the entity called Kalashnikov USA and produce guns here in the U.S. Of course, after all that dumbassery in Ukraine happened, so Russia took a different stance that the U.S. government didn't like, and then one of the first sanctions that they imposed, they included Izmash, I guess Kalashnikov concern in it, thus killing a few things. 300,000 rifles and shotguns coming to United States. That's one. And then, of course, that idea of joint venture. But the Israeli part of it kind of moved forward with the project without the Russian part, since they already received all the technical data and everything in their possession. And then they start making guns. And the first gun they made was, in fact, Saiga-12, which is in it had a pistol grip and a separate stock and stuff. So a little better configuration, but still it's the
KUSA? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, KUSA, yeah.
Did you know, do you know Mikey Hartman?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I didn't know
if you... I knew Mikey.
Yeah, he's been on the show a few times.
Oh, he has?
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
I ran into him last year at one of the things. I can't remember what it was, but it's the first time I'd seen him in years, too. Same old Mikey. He's doing
he's a high-energy guy.
He's doing those they don't call them Ronies anymore, but they call them the MK.
Yeah, he's doing that Glock thing,
the conversion kits for the Glocks. Deals. Yeah.
The Ronin.
They used to be called Ronies, but they're called
Roni or something.
MK conversion kits now, something.
So the two brothers, there was Eldad, and I forget the second guy who actually came up with this design. And the Roni, it's his daughter's name.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it macaroni.
Yeah, macaroni. And we used to call it macaroni.
But they had the interesting name. The family name was Oz. Eldad Oz and his brother. Forgot his name, but anyway. So they're still making that thing. Still making the Saiga-12, so you can buy it. Of course, it's a little more money than I don't know. With inflation.
But they're American made now, so they don't have to worry about any of the 922R compliant.
Correct.
Any of that stuff. So
yeah.
But it's basically the same thing as the Saiga, right?
Saigas.
Yeah.
Saiga-12.
What'd you say, Paul?
I just said, what is that?
I didn't.
What do you mean?
You said they don't worry about the 922R.
Oh, what is that?
What's that?
Yeah, I don't remember ever worrying about that.
Paul, you got me going there. I was like, really, Paul? Usually I'm easy going, but I was like, what? No, he didn't just ask that. But anyway, what are you holding, Evan?
This is the KS-12 from KUSA, but I got this ridiculous break on here.
Jesus.
But it works good, though, no?
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, when I bought the gun, this was
break?
included, and I was pretty stoked about it.
Oh, that's just the one that came with it.
I think it's an SGM forend on it, and then I got the 20 round drum on there. This is MDA. So I was gonna say with the Chinese imports, my buddy has the JTS, and so we did an AK shotgun day, and I took out all my mags. When you guys were talking about your Chinese guns, I was gonna say I tried. The MD drum didn't work in it. Every time we shot, the drum would just drop. And then I've got like the original 5-round Izmash that worked fine. So there's a couple different mags on the market. I know Brady talked about the Pro Mag. So these things sucked right out the bat. The springs straight out, they rusted out. So I found a company, I think it was AGP Arms. AGP. They made a spring replacement kit for these mags, and I bought a couple of those, and the mags actually work great now. And then I've got a couple of the AGP 10-rounders and then the SGM 12-rounders. And these mags have worked the best. They worked really well in the Chinese ones, the KUSA and the original Saiga. But it's always nice to have a few different types of brands and mags to try out in those.
Yeah.
Have you found that a certain length, a certain size shell works better?
2 3/4.
That works the best.
2 3/4 high brass, at least like 1250 or 1300 FPS. And then I typically do just like a 8 or 9 shot. But those seem to work the best. A little bit more expensive than your like typical, low brass stuff. But
if you go higher round mags, do you find you get misfeeds or anything like that?
No, even with that 20-round drum, like that thing actually feeds fairly reliable. And we were talking before, Marco, you got on. I've got like the cheaper Pro Mag 12-round drums. They've had their fair share of issues, but I was mentioning that if you put in a little bit of black graphite, like the dry graphite lube, it actually works pretty decent. But again, they don't work in the Chinese guns, so just one of those things.
Just give that to a homeless person.
So I've got both of them. I got 2, so they can have a little drum set.
Send that to the governor of New Mexico.
Oh, the funny thing is, back in like 2012, when they were having like the run on AR mags, some guy wanted to trade me 2 of these for 4 P mags. So I was like, all right,
done.
4 P mags it is, my friend. I think I was the one who got shafted on that.
Yeah,
deal.
You got screwed.
Yeah.
Well, soon enough we'll be able to maybe sell it as the antique.
Yeah.
Or like museum piece, collectible.
So we talked about.
Might even show up at the Antique Road Show.
Yeah.
Antique
have you guys
Roadshow.
tried different types of mags in your Chinese AK shotguns yet? Like, have you seen if it runs different styles of Saga style mags?
I did not.
No.
So they said
I just use the ones that come with the gun.
They send me like 5 of those 5-round magazines, and I don't. I did a little snippet, like a online review of this gun, and I didn't. Basically, I would not go hunt with this, and then I don't take a particular pleasure mule kicking me in the shoulder every time I pull a trigger. I would go to a range or something, but just a cool kind of gun to have, and me being the AK guy, so I have it.
Yeah,
but I did not. I put a red dot on it and front grip just so I can handle it.
Because you're tactical, Marco. That's why. That's why you did that.
If you knew me earlier, I was so against the vertical grips. Now I can't hold the gun without it.
You dig them. You digging them. So we talked. Kind of the order of how they came out with the Saiga, the VEPR, Chinese knocking theirs off. Who else has made a clone? We got some Turkish guns that have come out.
There is a company, which I don't know the name. Well, I do, but I swore not to mention it just yet.
Okay.
He's actually a Russian guy, Jewish guy, that moved to Germany years ago, like 35 years ago. And he got into this gun making thing, and then he bought a company in Turkey where he clones, AKs. And he's in process of cloning, and his first clone was Saiga-12, exactly the same pistol grip, just like what the KUSA did.
Yeah.
And he registered the name as Tiaga instead of Saiga. Tiaga. Taiga means like the forest, right, in Siberia. So Tiaga. And I've been talking to him, trying to bring the gun in. Not only that, but he also makes awesome, like a 4-tube magazine shotgun, semi-automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Each one's like a 6 rounds, and so it's 24 rounds. And then you can change that tube once you're out. You can quickly remove it, put another one in, which was kind of interesting. But then we stalled in our negotiations. But anyway, so he's definitely got a working gun.
So those aren't currently being imported, the Tiagas?
Well, that was the point of contention between me and him, is that I wanted to be, at least for the first maybe 3 years or so, to be the only guy. But he gave me the document to sign where I get all his fantasy projects as my exclusive stuff. But the Tiaga, which is the bread and butter, he would sell to anyone who wants to buy it. And like I said, I immediately went.
So with Paul, your experience with the 12 gauge, the AK 12 gauge, talk about how you got into those.
Well, the first one I actually got my hands on was, I don't know, about 10 years ago when the Catamounts, when Century was bringing the Catamounts.
Yeah.
I remember when 3-gun like exploded in the United States, and everybody had to have a Saiga, and then everybody had to have a Saiga conversion, and then all the like local gun shops, like my FFL guy had he had the armor gunsmith guy, and that was one of the things they were doing.
Yeah.
What can we do? How can we convert it? How can we,
It's what started Dissident Arms.
What?
I said that's how Dissident Arms started.
Yeah, and so, my feeling at the time was, I don't want to have to go through all that. I'm sure it's cool and everything, but I don't want to have to go through all the buy the gun and then have it converted and blah, blah, blah. I wasn't really interested in it. And then, Century got the Catamounts, and I got one of the ones with the magwell, and I got one of the ones with the rock in. And I actually have one with the normal standard style stock, and I've got one with the thumb hole stock that they brought in with the ubiquitous, the thumb hole dealio, that was so famous, the Mac 90 stock. Remember the Mac 90 stock?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were kind of fat thumb holes.
Yeah, the fat old Mac 90 stock. So
they're going to make a comeback for sure.
But the Catamounts, not that, I don't know if it's a problem, but the thing is, they're really long. They're like super long guns, right? Comparatively, compared to like an AK or whatever, it's a long gun. And the one thing I actually like about this gun right here is that it's fully legal. It's all civilian legal, but it is a little bit lighter weight, and it is a little more compact. And this VP-12 here, I could already establish it. It uses the Saiga magazines, and it's got the left side charging handle versus the right side charging handle, and it does have an adjustable. Now this is a 3 position, or actually it's 4. It's 0, 1, 2, 3 gas system. And when I tested this, I found that with high brass, I would just put it on the 1, and then with the low brass, I put it on the 3, and it worked pretty well. I had some of that Winchester powder puff like trap skeet stuff, and that I had some issues with. But your standard field loads, your normal field loads would run through it. And I don't know about you guys, but my experience from or listening to people with the AK shotguns is they all cry about, they don't run and they don't function and they don't whatever. Well, because Americans want to shoot the cheapest shotgun ammo that they can get their hands on. And then they put it in these guns, and then they went from Mossberg, 500, which runs everything, and then they get a Kalashnikov style shotgun, and they're like, oh, it's jams and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, no shit. Of course, you're putting the so. And I've never, whether it's the Catamount or this one's or whatever, if you run high brass, it works.
Yep.
But you just need to understand that. And the main issue, I think, that with the shotguns, with the magazine-fed shotguns, is carrying extra magazines on you has always been a pain in the ass. They don't,
because they're so bulky.
Huh?
Because they're so bulky, is that why?
Yeah, because they're thick, they're bulky. 12 gauge ammo is relatively heavy compared to rifle ammo. I don't know who the hell is buying the magazine-fed pump action shotguns with those 10-round box magazines sticking out of the bottom. I don't know who's buying those things. People buy them, but I'm like, where do you keep the spare magazines?
Yeah, well, the spare magazines are really expensive. So, and the issue that I found with any type of 12 gauge or shotgun in general, magazine-fed shotgun, is that if you leave it loaded for like a home defense purposes, over time you'll start to see the ends of the shells will oval out because it's plastic, right? At the end of your shot shell, and all the pressure from multiple rounds loaded into a magazine, over time they'll oval out and
start deforming. That's a good point.
The housing or the plastic shell, the hole, I should say.
Well, now I gotta go and check all my mags.
Yeah, you better. Yeah,
I'm sure it'll take some time, but
it's a
I
great point. It. Especially being in Michigan where your temperature changes so much. Yeah.
I like running slugs. Slugs through these guns are a lot of fun. They'll always run with a slug.
Well, and they're effective, but they're a specialty tool. They're a specialty tool. You say, well, would you rather have that or the AKM? Like, obviously, I'd rather have 30 rounds in an AKM than 6 rounds of shotgun ammo, or 5 rounds, or even 10 rounds of shotgun ammo.
Well, there was an interesting video Paul posted on it. Somebody tried to argue in the favor of buckshot. It's got like 7 pellets coming out at once, versus the one at the time as you pull the trigger, and that's what he was trying to make a comparison, saying, oh, right here I got like 9 holes, and right here I got from one shot 7 holes or whatever, and right here I only got 1. And I was like, all right, well, neither here or there. It's a shotgun versus the freaking. What about at the 50 yards, 100 yards? I'm sure buckshot will reach out and touch someone at 50, but 100, forget about it.
Yeah.
The multi-mount is a simple yet flexible platform that allows you to conveniently mount your everyday items wherever you may need them. A rugged 1.5-inch belt locks into the mount, allowing the attachment of any item that uses a clip or belt loop. With the quick release tab, you can easily swap out essential gear as needed. Ideal for mounting comms, tourniquets, lights, firearms, and more. The options are almost limitless. The platform comes with 2 backer options, either 3N adhesive or hook backing, giving you adaptability and endless options on where you can mount your needed items. Access your essential equipment in your preferred configuration. Carry what you need, where you need, with our multi-mount platform, available now.
For your exclusive Talking Lead listener discount, use the code LEADHEAD for 20% off at checkout.
So earlier, Marco, Paul was telling us about his AR that he designed in collaboration with Spike's Tactical. You want to show him your AR, Paul?
Oh yeah. Let me grab it.
Yeah, go grab that. So, what I want to ask is, there are also AR style shotguns out there. I don't know if any of y'all have shot those.
Yeah.
I haven't shot those, and I was just wondering how good those are.
Those came first versions of them came from Turkey.
Yeah.
And again, I was approached to trying to import them. At that point, I thought the idea was so freaking ludicrous.
Yeah, I did too.
And I kind of passed on. I don't know. I'm telling you all these stories, and I don't like the way I describe myself. I'm like, that's why I'm a freaking one with one foot in the poorhouse. But anyway, no, at the time it didn't make any sense because the Segas were coming in big time. But go ahead, Paul.
No, this is I hadn't had the idea, to design a rifle that is referred to as an instrument of liberty. And it's supposed to be simple and rugged and robust. And so I partnered with the guys at Spikes, and I spec'd this out. And it's not fancy, and it's not fancy on purpose. It's deliberately non-fancy. It's got a 16-inch full profile barrel, so that means it's got a little bit more meat on it. It's got a mid-length gas system instead of a short gas system. And I spec'd out an A1 length stock so that it would be tough. And we put inexpensive, relatively lightweight furniture in the pistol grip in the forend. A flashlight mount right here because that's something that's important. Comes with the backup sight. It comes with a tritium front sight, and it also we've got a package.
Put the knife on it. Show him.
Oh yeah, and of course I made it a mid-length gas system so that the bayonet would sit exactly where it's supposed to sit.
I knew Marco would like that. You like that, don't you, Marco?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Marco appreciates it.
So what caliber is it in?
It's a 5.56.
Oh, 5.56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very nice.
It is.
It's actually like, I like the bare bone, nothing fancy type of deal. I have a BCM4 that Troy sent me one year, and that's a mid-length gas system, but it's more like at the time he was supplying those guns to some of the SOCOM guys, and it, he had the quad rail and stuff. And I remember when he sent to me, he says, "Enjoy your plinker," and plinker it is. It just freaking, it's like shooting 22 short. That gun. It's like excellent gun. But anyway.
I've got a BCM mid-length too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I've got a BCM mid-length. Oh yeah.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, I've had it for a while. I love it. Yeah.
So back to the AR shotguns. You were talking about.
So what I'd like to say something about those, because working where I work at, and we sell a lot of those Turkish AR style shotguns, and I feel like
those are popular then.
Very popular.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they're really not much different than your typical gas operated Benelli, Beretta, Browning, right? Because essentially those traditional style gas operated shotguns, the gas operation system is, pretty much operating off of the feed tube, whereas these AR style, they're operating the same way, but the gas tube is up top and then it's magazine fed. And so it has a puck that is traveling along a tube, and you can actually, if you're holding it, you're C-clamping that thing, you'll get a lot of gas on your hand because most of them are ventilated, and then you can see the spring system, the puck system inside of that, or for that gas operated system.
Are those adjustable typically?
I don't know. I'd have to look a little bit closer into them. Yeah. I've never actually shot one. I've just handled a lot of them. But they're really popular. People seem to love them. I think it's just the look of them. You see the bullpup styles. You see the style that looks just like an AR. It's got very similar controls and ergonomics to an AR, but it's mag fed and it's just a gas operated shotgun. But I always tell people, it's like these can be picky because they're mag fed. Make sure you're running those higher FPS, high brass shells through them. Because anytime we just sell one of those guns, people are going to run the cheapest shotgun ammo possible through it, and then they're going to come back and bitch about it, say, hey, this thing's not running. It's like, well, what did you run through? What kind of ammo are you running? But it's definitely a popular option.
This is the one I want to get.
Showing the Genesis. The Genesis is a little bit of a different story.
Yeah,
those are pretty slick.
This is what I would get if I were going to get an AR style 12 gauge. This is what I would get.
Yeah.
The Genesis.
Yeah, those operate with the barrel actually. I don't know the specific term for it, but the barrel moves to help operate the gun, so it's not as bulky.
It's like a Barrett,
it's like a Browning system,
or like a or a Barrett 50 cal. Yeah.
Yep.
Mitigates
I'd say
the
it's
recoil.
Browning because Barrett was much later.
Well, I agree. I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay.
That's just the first thing came to my mind, but yeah.
But going back to this short 12 gauge shotguns, and when the Sagas were coming in, some guy named Mark Krebs.
I've heard of him.
Know Mark, right?
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
He actually was converting a lot of the Sagas back into the AK-103 configuration, and also he was converting the 12 gauge shotguns into this nice little short thing. And if I'm not mistaken, and he's in Wakanda, Illinois, not Wakanda, Africa, but Wakanda, Illinois.
Isn't Wakanda a movie place anyway?
It's the made up country, the fake country that the Black Panther's supposed to live in. Yeah.
Right. So there's actually a place called Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
Just north of Chicago.
That's funny.
And I think San Diego Sheriff's Department bought a bunch of those very short magazine Sagas, pretty much whole folding stock and everything for the breech guns. When they would go in and they have to shoot the hinges out and the lock out and bust in. That's what they bought a bunch of those Krebs converted Sagas.
Very cool.
But they were so freaking short. It's like,
is there anything else history-wise that you think we need to cover? If not, let's get to our listener questions.
Well, just one more thing to mention. We talked about KUSA, right? And they came up, their latest offering is this thing called Chaos. And it's a short, like one of those, not even a coach guns, but, like a pistol grip or knob or whatever you call it. But it's a magazine fed, and it's AK based.
Like the Shockwave thing?
I think it's called a Chaos.
Chaos with a K?
No, with the C, I think.
C.
Why would they do a C and not a K?
I know, you do the K, be tongue in cheek.
Yeah, like AK Corner with a K. Come on. Chaos Kalash.
Well, so like Rock Island makes one where it's mag fed, but it's pump action, and it's the same as like the Shockwave and the TAC 14, right? But I think KUSA or maybe
here now it is with a K. Ha
it is with a K.
It's with a K. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna
gas operated.
They messed up a great marketing opportunity. Look at it.
Oh, there you go.
That is not practical at all. It looks cool though.
I actually got to kind of screw around with it. My local shop has it.
Well, does it use this? If it uses a Saiga magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It uses their magazines. It looks like there's this magazine right here.
I feel like you'd have to hold that real tight to make sure it operates properly.
We're gonna see what this guy does.
Yeah, no lip resting.
Yeah.
So I'm playing a video now. So for you listeners who aren't watching the video, you need to go to the video.
Is it buffering or?
No, it's playing. You not see it?
Oh, I see it now. It looked like it was buffering or something. But...
No, it's just whoever edited it didn't do a good job editing it. I mean, why would they blur that?
Yeah, I don't get that, why it's blurred.
I'm not getting their video. There, now they focus in. Dude's standing there.
Terrible. There we go.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there we go.
Evan, that answers your question.
Yeah.
They're hip firing it, for one. Okay.
Yeah, you really have to hold that thing tight.
This is just a street sweeper is all this is. It's just a good old OK Corral, Doc Holliday street sweeper. Okay, there you go. It's a gimmick.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's a gimmick.
Like novelty.
Could be fun.
Let's see what they're selling them for. How much they are? $1,386. They can keep that.
$1,300.
1,400. Yeah.
$1,400. You get a Lexington and Concord rifle way cheaper than that.
Yeah, you go ahead.
From Spikes Tactical.
You could throw that EOTech on there for $1,300.
Yeah.
That you're rocking with it. So one more thing, gentlemen, before we get into this. So you guys may or may not know that we are running a giveaway here at the Talking Lead podcast with a lot of our friends of the show and sponsors. $6,000 in prizes, all be told. We've got 3 guns. We've got an RDB Defender rifle. We've got a P15 pistol and a KS7 shotgun. Speaking of shotguns, that is a Kel-Tec's mini version of their KSG shotgun, the KS7 12 gauge. We've got Mission First Tactical with their Acro sling bag, Acro 22L bag. That's their gray man bags. 16-ounce flip top drinky drink, the one you've been seeing me drink from today. 12-ounce can cooler, custom holster for that P15, which I'll hold. Can you see it right here?
Yep.
That's the holster that we have. Custom holster for the P15. 30-round extreme duty polymer magazines for that RDB Defender rifle. I think there's like 2 or 3 mags included, maybe more than that. We've got the CLP cleaning kit and cleaning rod kit from Seal 1, sponsors of the Talking Lead AK Corner. We've got Dipstick branding with our logoed shirt, which I don't have on today, our new logo, our new hat, which this giveaway is celebrating 10 years of Talking Lead, the release of our new logo, 500 episodes plus, and we just went over 10,000 on our Instagram. So that's huge for us. Huge for us because I don't try to push and promote that crap. Kraken Case Company, the rifle case. They got their full-size Sigma rifle case. That all this stuff, the majority of it's going to fit in, minus those bags. Defiant Munitions, because you got to have bullets for all this stuff. So Defiant Munitions is supplying 2 50-round boxes of 9mm Luger 125 grain plus P, 2 20-round boxes of the 223 Remington 69 grain, and you're at the range. You got to have Ear Pro and Eye Pro, right, Paul?
Yes, sir.
Got to protect your eyes and ears. So Walker Ears is doing some ATAX electronic earbuds. Those things are really cool. Tactical RX doing a pair of their Mother Trucker Eye Pro. I think those are what's that stuff, that lens that protects you from the, what's that called?
Shrapnel.
What?
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel. No, it's that UV.
ANSI rating.
I don't know, whatever the fuck it's called. They're nice. They're $140, so they're really nice.
Jeez.
Yeah, they are.
Vortex Optics, we've got a Strike Eagle 1:8 by 24 first focal plane. We've got a Spitfire AR Prism scope, and we've got a mount for that 1:8 from Vortex Optics. Enforce, we've got weapon lights that you're going to put on that RDB and the shotgun. Each one of those comes with a weapon light from Enforce. And then we got a custom blade from STA Blades, an MD Stabby. It's like a $300 knife. Comes with a sheath. And then, I mean, you can't have fun at the range unless you're shooting at steel, or what's even more fun, guys, blowing shit up. So Firebird targets, you're going to get several packs of those as well. So all that's going to one person. One person. One person is winning all this, and this is running through the entire month of September. So you go to Talking Lead's Instagram page. We've got a link there. We've been making posts. All of our partners have been making posts. Black Tie Digital Marketing, who designed my new logo, has done some videos for us, and we put those out there. So be watching for those. But there's one thing that people have been bugging the shit out of me as they're going and signing up for this, is we have a secret code. And I've told people that it's going to be coming in one of the episodes in September. So guess what, Leadheads?
This is it.
The wait is over. Quit cussing. It's here. I'm getting ready to give you the secret code right now. So get your pens and paper ready to go right now. And is my screen being shared?
Yeah.
Watch the presentation.
And now it's time for the Talking Lead and Friends Freedom Giveaway Secret Code.
And the code is Eagle Piss. EAGLEPISS. Eagle Piss.
Oh my God.
So there you go.
I would have never guessed that.
Secret code. I mean, what says freedom more than eagle piss?
So what does the secret code get me?
So that gets you 500 additional entries. 500. And you're only going to get this code if you listen to the podcast. So this is for our lead heads, our dedicated lead heads. There's the code, Eagle Piss. All one word. And I don't think you can do caps or lower, so you just put it in and it automatically does caps, I think. So there you go. So let me stop sharing my screen there. And I'll play that for you guys later so you can hear the audio, because the audio is pretty funny too. All right, so I had to get that out of the way. So let's go to listener questions now.
Okay.
All right. Evan, pull your phone up too so you can help me out with these questions.
I got you.
So we'll start off with Pacific Northwesterner. And we're giving away prizes today to you who participated. We're going to give you a drinky drink from Mission First Tactical, dump tray from Mission First Tactical, and, of course, you're going to get a cleaning kit from our good buddies at Seal One and Done, for all your gun cleaning and lube needs. So Pacific Northwesterner, how freaking cool would a Select Fire AK shotgun loaded up with Dragon's Breath be? I mean, so...
Is it rhetorical?
Rhetorical question.
So rhetorical question would come.
And that's a rhetorical question. It would be badass, he said. But so during the promo for our giveaway, that was what I wanted to do, is I wanted to get Dragon's Breath and shoot it through that KS7. But guess what? Dragon's Breath is illegal in Florida, and we couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah. I was so disappointed. So that's where Firebird came in. Boom. Filled the void for us. Yeah, we're blowing up watermelons, blowing up shirts. So you got to watch the promo videos, guys. There's some cool things that we did with Black Tie Digital Marketing.
Attention business owners. Are you ready to take your marketing game to the next level? Look no further than Black Tie Digital Marketing, the firearm-friendly, full-service agency that delivers results. We've worked with industry giants like Keltec, Spikes Tactical, and Armalite, and we even designed the kick-ass new logo at Talking Lead. At Black Tie, we blend creativity and data-driven strategies to ensure your message hits the mark every time. From high-end custom websites, graphic design, to inbound marketing campaigns, and everything in between, we've got you covered. Your success is our priority. Join the ranks of the industry's top players and give your business the boost it deserves. Experience the power of Black Tie today. Visit blacktieDigital.com or call 1-800-316-8030 to schedule your free consultation. That's Black Tie Digital Marketing, where firepower meets marketing power. Black Tie Digital Marketing is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
All right. Brett Badal.
So, yeah, the answer to that one would be cool, though.
Yeah. So everybody, there's a few people responding to him. So next question is from, well, here's a comment, Dissonant Arms, because they were on the last one we did, shotgun episode. It says, now we're talking lead. I know they wanted to be on. We'll get them on again. They're good guys. Nikolai Abplanap. Best mod to do to an AK shotgun for 3-gun? Question mark.
Oh, well, okay. Anything that reduces recoil, I'm thinking.
Yeah. So a nice break.
Nice break like Evan had. Maybe that the shot the spring loaded buffer tube.
Buttstock.
Buttstock, yeah.
Yeah.
That or a nice magazine well for quicker reloads. You know.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Mag,
Yeah.
You're going to be reloading those things quite often. I've seen a lot of 3-gunners run the double stacked mags, so they're getting 2 10-round mags double stacked in, so they can get that 20 rounds.
Here's the best thing you could do is just get in touch with the guys at Dissonant Arms, because they make some of the slickest race guns out there.
They do,
and they got all the mods. And then he goes on to say, what makes all the difference when tenths of a second count on the competition stage? So, yeah, I mean, anything reducing recoil, maybe a little polished trigger. Ammo is key. You got to have good ammo. Brett Bedell, what options exist for adding chokes to Saigas or VEPRs? The Saiga.
Check this out.
You got something? He says.
So, this is on VEPR, because they had that welded on little cap, but it was fully threaded barrel. So you take that off, the cap. This right here is actually a choke that's, you can switch in between by just rotating from full to whatever, modified and so on and so on.
It's a click, kind of a click choke.
It's like a poly choke.
Yep. And it's also got the flash hider.
And who makes that?
Oh, good Lord. I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, yeah, they're going to want to know that, Marco.
Everybody turn around.
While you're thinking about it, he goes on to say...
I'm about to put the clear sunglasses on.
So you can read. He says, the Saiga shipped with an external choke. Is there a decent source of choke options for this style, or who can thread the factory barrel to accept a standard choke? What steps can a person take to tune the action to the function more reliably with lower power loads?
So it basically says deluxe poly chokes.
Deluxe?
Poly chokes. Like poly.
DELUX?
No, poly, like POLY. Dash choke.
It's poly choke.
Poly choke.
It's a poly choke. Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
Okay. There you go. Poly choke. And that was on your VEPR?
On the VEPR, yep.
Okay. Would those work on a Saiga too?
It depends. If Saiga is threaded on the outside, yes. If it's threaded for the chokes on the inside, you're going to have to buy like a adapter to screw it in to give you external threads.
Okay.
Yeah, most Saigas I've seen are just threaded on the outside.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And for the adjustable gas, where he's saying, what steps can a person take to tune the action? I've tried like the auto adjusting gas plug on the Saiga. That didn't work so hot. That just has like a little spring in there to auto adjust for the different loads you're shooting. It seems like most factory options where they come with, the 1, 2, or, up to 4 different settings, that's going to be your best option. Just, the larger the hole, the better, the better cycling you're going to get out of those cheaper loads. You just got to be careful, because if you're running those higher brass loads and you have the setting to where it's allowing too much gas, you could potentially start to ruin things with too much gas flowing through those high brass loads. So I think it's just a matter of finding the right setting for the loads you're running and keep with it.
Get out there and shoot it and
switching it up
and try your settings.
Exactly. Paul,
got any wisdom on that one?
No, I mean, I like this one here. I said, like I said, I it's got the 1, 2, 3, 0, and I was running the field loads on 3 and the high brass on 1.
There you go. Read the next one, Evan.
Another Brett Bedell question. Was this developed solely for civilian and hunting, or did Russia ever issue a Shorty shoddy for any special purpose military service.
Snotty shoddy. A snotty
I figured he
shoddy.
meant shorty.
It was developed for civilian market only. However, later, like units like Vitez and Wimpel and the Alpha, which did the anti-terrorism stuff, they definitely carried one or two Saigas on every mission, just as for the purpose of breaching. And they were snotty shorties. Is that what you were calling
Snotty
them?
shotties is what he.
Shotties, yeah. They were shorties. But it was it was initially developed for the hunters.
Gotcha. Mustang Perry, is it better to buy a tricked out VEPR or assemble one from amazing parts? Depends on how mechanically inclined you are, I guess, and the tools you have.
Yep.
But if you got the dough, I would send it to Dissident Arms.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or buy one of theirs already tricked out.
Well, so Dissidents, they typically made them out of the VEPR, right? But now they're kind of moving more towards the KS-12s just because of availability.
They do the Sagas and the VEPRs, and they'll do some links, I think. There's some things they can do to links and another one. I can't remember what it is. But like the real tricked out ones are the VEPRs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boomstick Babe, my question is, who wants to give me an AK? Well, probably nobody wants to give you one, but we give them away from time to time on the show, so you listen, and you never know. We might be giving one away sometime soon.
Yep. Listen and participate.
Read Glautru's there, Evan.
I think mine's in a different order than yours. Glautru, let me find it. I'm not seeing it. You're going to have to read it.
How cool would it be if someone made a 410 Saiga that also shoots 45 Colt? The Taurus judge of AKs. Paul's just shaking his head.
Yeah. I think the barrel would be too long with a smooth bore. You wouldn't get any accuracy out of that.
Well, you couldn't do a smooth. You can't do a smooth bore because then it's a short barrel shotgun. That's well.
What about the just to the basics feeding? The magazine. You can't use the same magazine.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did a 28 gauge Saiga?
Wouldn't it be cool? All these what ifs.
How about 10 gauge?
10 gauge
goose gun.
Shit,
that wouldn't be good.
10 gauge. Holy shit. Pew Pew RN, what shotgun shells work the best for magazine-fed shotguns? Seems like a lot of the hulls get deformed. Evan was talking about this earlier.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're leaving those mags loaded, you will eventually see a hull deform just because of the pressure, especially the ones below that top shell. They'll start to deform a little bit, and you're going to get terrible feeding issues. And then, just for reliability, we've talked plenty on it. It's just you're going to want to be using those high brass loads. The moment you start cheaping out on shotgun shells is the time you're going to have issues. So, and a lot of people. Sorry, Marco or Paul, like you were saying. Paul was saying earlier, people are just cheaping out on shotgun shells, and you're so used to running your Mossberg 500 reliably with that pump action, that slide action, and the moment you try and run those cheap shells, it's just not going to work out for you.
Maybe it's time to go back to brass shotgun shells.
Did they make brass shotgun shells?
Yeah, they made brass shotgun shells.
Yeah, that's the only stuff you would get in the olden times.
Huh.
Damn.
Okay.
And the beauty of it was you could easily reload them.
Or we could get Sula to make lacquered steel shotgun shells.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
Get the lacquer from Russia.
But when I was a little kid, I collected all kinds of stuff military. And it just so happens where I grew up, there was all kinds of like battles going on and this and that and the other thing. So it would be normal for a kid to possess a round ball, like a 8-pound cannonball, or like a rusted out Dragoon sword or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I had all those things. And in my collection, I had the 16 gauge and 12 gauge brass cases.
Very cool.
And my father's friend, who was like avid hunter, would always try to like trade me those things for something because he wanted to reload them. He is go and hunt and stuff. It's like he'll bring like candy or something, a chocolate bar. And I said, you know what? You gotta go back and recalculate.
So J. Edgar Paradox wants to know, says 12 gauge comes out on top. Any love for the 20 and the 410? I like the 410. I don't really do a lot of 20 at all, but I don't really see the need for the 20. But the 410, I love 410.
The 20 gauge seems to be. I was just going to say,
go ahead. I'll let you make your point.
Sorry, I was just going to say 20 gauge seems to be really popular with like waterfowl and marsh guys because they want to be able to shoot all day, but not have that messed up shoulder, and that's where I see 20 gauge selling the most. So I don't see a big market for 20 gauge.
Also, no, I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was to say, from my experience, 20 gauge is the go-to round for youth shooting sports.
Youth, I was going to say that. Yeah.
It's the go-to shotgun shell for youth shooting sports. The 4-H shooting sports program uses 12 pretty much all their guns are 20 gauge guns. And I don't know I haven't priced it lately, but 20 gauge generally was less expensive than 12. Now 410 is the exact opposite. 410 is more expensive than 12 gauge.
Yeah, it's hard to get.
It's hard to find.
It's retarded.
It makes no sense.
But I love shooting it.
Yeah, my mom told me when you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. But I'm going to say it anyway.
All right.
So remember the COVID times, right? Where, if you make anything in your garage that can produce and bang and propel some kind of projectile, you would sell it. I mean, the walls in the stores were empty, no ammo to speak of. I would go to my local boutique, Ann Arbor Arms, very good store. It's kind of like you walk in, the music is playing, and you can buy everything from clothing to, guns, and the guys are usually really good over there. And there was this AK hanging on the wall. The walls were bare, right? And it was like a single shot shotgun hanging, and then the AK. Like Saiga. And I come up to him and I was like, what's up with that? He goes, that's 410 Saiga. And I think they just sold it like a couple months ago. A deep discount. So I don't know what this story tells you.
It's a collector thing.
All right.
I think the 410 and the 20 is definitely a collector thing.
Marco got lost in the weeds on that one. Esom 87, are AK shotguns typically as finicky as AR shotties? Seems like every AR style I've shot needs to use 3-inch shells to cycle.
I think it's probably going to be the same as, they're very similar, other than the fact that the AK shotgun's using a long stroke piston and the AR shotguns are using I guess you just call it a gas operated. I'm not entirely sure what the exact term would be for the AR style on the gas system they're using, but I would assume the reliability is the same as long as they're using whether it's a 3-inch or a 2 3/4, a high brass load. Again, I've never shot the AR style, so I couldn't speak firsthand.
Paul,
on that.
got your hand up.
Yeah, I have shot the AR style, and I found that they are poor to terrible generally. I gave up on those. It's funny because everyone's like, oh man, it's like I had so many problems when I was writing, reviewing guns like for a living all the time that people were like, oh, you want to review this AR shotgun? No, I don't.
Yeah, no thanks.
I had one that was so bad that I told the manufacturer, I'm like, I can't review this. You don't want me to review it because I don't have anything good to say. And just send me a label. And he didn't want to spend the money to have me send the gun back. if that tells you anything. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we don't really want it back. We don't want it back, you know. It's like, yeah. So no, the Kalashnikov, the AK shotguns are infinitely more reliable than the AR shotguns. Sorry, it's just I wouldn't waste my money on an AR shotgun, but whatever. I mean, you do what you want. You know, the fact of the matter is, let's all be honest with each other. If you want a shotgun, a semi-auto shotgun that's going to run everything from dove loads to turkey loads, and you can switch them back and forth without changing anything, just buy a Benelli.
Yeah.
Buy a Super Black Eagle, and you can drop in freaking trap loads, and then you can drop in turkey loads, and then slugs or whatever, and it will run. Now, it's not free. It doesn't look as cool, as an AK. But if you're just looking for sporting reliability, a lot of these guys are like, oh man, I want to run 3-gun with a whatever. It's like, dude, just run a Benelli. Or hey, my question, hey, can anybody out there find a Beretta 1301?
Dude, I haven't seen one of those come through my shop in months. It's been so long.
I know there are pictures of them on the internet, but I've never walked into a gun shop and been able to put my hands on one.
We've gotten a couple in the last year, but as soon as we get it in, they're gone within like a day.
Gone.
Yeah.
Poof. Maybe we need to get the Chinese to make Beretta 1301s.
I'm pulling it up now.
Isn't that like the Turkish company that sells them on different brands swears that it's an exact copy?
Well, they made a copy of the M4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I wouldn't even say the reaching. I mean, it's just so outrageous.
Yeah.
So the new enhanced 1301 tactical.
Yep.
Yeah, they're supposed to be fantastic if you could find one.
Yep.
Lightning fast, easy to handle, safe to operate.
I'll be right back.
Do these have magazines? Can you magazine feed these?
No, they're tubes. No. They're tube fed.
They're just all tube fed.
They're what shotguns should be.
Because I know Beretta has a mag fed.
Do they?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with one.
I'm not familiar with them.
I've seen one. Let me.
The only mag-fed shotguns I've seen, other than like Russian or Chinese, is going to be the Mossberg 500s, and those mags are just, I don't know why I think they're just trying to reach a different market, but that was an answer to a question that no one asked. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to know that.
Right.
Didn't they make a Shockwave magazine-fed Shockwave?
Yeah, I mean it's based off the 500 series, right? And then they turned it into the Shockwave. It's just like Rock Island did the same thing, mag-fed, pump action. I don't know. I love
the
shotguns.
The straight-up Shockwave is the balls.
It's fun.
It's fantastic.
Especially if you get the little feed lip so you can run your Aguila mini
DeWalder P99, PPQ.
Well, dude, you just buy a 590S.
Yeah. Those newer ones.
The 590S, that's one of the smartest things that Mossberg has done in a lot. They've done some smart stuff, but changing that shell elevator, oh wow, that's got to be. Are you on IM Movie DB or whatever?
Beretta M3P.
Oh wow, there you go.
Well, there you go.
I've never seen something like that.
Is that
DeWalder
P99
P99
gun, or is that a movie gun?
I think it's a real gun.
That's probably one of the ones where they one of them came to the United States and it went to a Hollywood prop house.
Right.
Let me do a search for it here.
What's Such talking about? Does he have one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Such has one of those?
No, that was just a advertisement.
Pop up.
An ad.
That dude's just on live pop up out there.
Beretta, what was it?
M3P.
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 MP3, but different.
Not MP3. No. Not 3MP.
It's not
MP5.
Well, looks like it's legit. Let's see. The Beretta M3. This is on the Firearms blog.
Okay.
Beretta
How
M3P
long ago was that?
Pump
What's the date on it?
2020.
Mm.
The Italian company Beretta opens its vaults to show the
And it's a pump?
M3P.
It looks like a pump.
These photos were taken in 1990. The M3P 12-gauge shotgun with 5 rounds fed from a detachable box magazine. Although some sources say the magazine takes 6 rounds, it can run both a pump action or semi-auto, which is great if you want to use special loads that are too weak, rubber balls, for instance. Yeah, looks like they did.
What's that stock attachment?
It's just a metal.
Looks like they're designed, like their designability ended right there where the behind the pistol grip.
Yeah,
they're just like, we're done.
Yeah,
We're all done
I don't know what to do with it from here because we're not going to take it to market. So this will never go to market.
It's kind of like the SPOS. Isn't the SPOS you can pump action or semi-auto it?
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah, and all right. I don't know about you guys, but my experience with the either or guns has always been terrible.
Yeah.
It either runs really good the one way and doesn't the other way, or.
Well, Benelli made one, right? Was it a M2 or M3 or something? They made a pump action. You can convert it to semi-auto. I remember seeing IV88 did a review on one.
88. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up. Come out and play. How close are we to Zastava 12 gauge? Marco, you got any inside at Zastava? I've asked those guys several times to come on the show, but they don't ever respond. So,
Not
I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Or didn't they just put a ban?
Unless there's like a huge rise in the demand. But I think as far as like a AK style shotgun niche is completely, taken over by this Chinese imports and Russian Saigas and VEPRs. And I think whoever wanted one already bought one or can buy the KUSA gun.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue is the Turkish imports, right? With the AR style, it's like those are so cheap. Everybody who wants a magazine-fed shotgun is just going to end up with that because they don't really know what they're looking for. So Zastava, they're doing such a good job with their 47s, importing those. I don't really see them having a need for it, especially if it's not going to be used in a military style. But didn't Zastava or Serbia just put a ban on all their imports?
Isn't Zastava here in the U.S.? Aren't they opening up a factory, or didn't they open up a factory here?
That I don't know. I just remember hearing a lot about Serbia putting import bans on firearms.
Export bans?
Export from there?
Sorry, export, yes. My bad.
Well,
I don't know why that would be. I mean, there's no war over there. They're trying to become unless they're trying to become go woke and join the EU, which their goal is to join the EU. But
that's suicide.
No, it is. But the problem is that all these little countries don't see that. They think it's like they're struggling pensioners now going to receive the German pensions and shit.
Yeah, so this article,
they're going to collapse
pretty soon.
The German economy is going to collapse, and there's two things going on right now with new guns. All right, anybody who's listening, they're like, I wish this company would come up with a new gun.
Paul,
yeah,
hold that up. Look at your screen.
Oh, look what you got. You got the new book from Nicholas Orr.
From Nick Orr. Look at that.
Nice.
That's right.
Evan's got it. I don't have it.
That's the guy to small
article.
Arms. Yeah.
Serbia halts arms exports after U.S. sanctioned the country's spy chief for alleged illegal arms trade, and that was on July 14, 2023. But it said it was a 30-day export ban. So
yeah.
30 whole days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the governor of New Mexico.
CLA's question, I would say probably not.
Idiots.
Obviously, the current administration and the one that wasn't the last one, but the one before that, obviously they dream and sleep and dream to, strip us all of guns and stuff, right? And one way that the executive branch can do it by way of regulating the import into this country, like with sanctioning Kalashnikov USA, and then later, a year and a half later, Molot. They got rid of 460,000 rifles or shotguns and rifles coming into the United States in one big swoop, right? So I would be, God only knows what's going on over there with the foreign manufacturers and what shenanigans going on, what kind of deals they making.
Yeah. All right, last question. Let's wrap this up. B. Hurst, 87. Yeah. He says, again, all exclamation points. He's talking about because we did a shotgun last year, but that was last year, and we didn't have Marco on. And he says, yes, Marco better join. Which would you pick, VEPR-12s or ... and why? Love my VEPRs still after a 12 gauge myself. Anyway, he loves his VEPR.
Yes, if great. I mean, I'm on the same page with him, and I love my VEPR. If I was going to join participate in any kind of competition, I'll take that gun over just about anything. And set up for high brass now. It shoots excellent. I like the way it handles. I mean, I got more experience with it than any other 12 gauge, even this whatever that is, inner arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, VEPR, I'll go with VEPR.
Paul, what do you go with?
For an AK shotgun?
VEPR-12 or, you pick anything. ... He doesn't.
Oh, is somebody going to, I didn't know if someone was going to send me one.
You're like this other chick on here wants somebody to send her something. All right.
No. The truth is, I don't have a lot of experience with the VEPR, so I can't speak to it. I'm sure they're great.
So what shotgun would you go with?
Any other shotgun that you would prefer.
What shotgun do you go with? Benelli?
Oh, well, yeah,
okay.
Mossberg 590. But I can run a shotgun. The magazine-fed shotguns are specialty tools. They're not universal tools; they're specialty tools. Yeah. It's just because of their design. They're great because you can shoot them super fast. But it sucks because you have to carry these extra magazines, which I guess you just put them in a shoulder bag. That's all I would do, is put them in a shoulder bag or something. Yeah. There are magazine pouches big enough for them. So they're not really a practical universal. They're always going to be a specialty tool, and they do have a place. And we just need to understand what that place is.
Evan.
And if you play games.
I like games. So I have shot. My buddy has a SBS VEPR-12, and that thing is wonderful. Runs very well, and I absolutely love it. Love my Saigas, but if I were to actually choose a shotgun to take into some type of situation, it would be my M4. That thing will run anything I put through it without having to adjust the gas. The issue, like Paul said, is just carrying around these extra mags. They're giant, they're bulky.
Yeah.
It's a specialty purpose shotgun. They're a lot of fun to take out. Mag-fed shotguns are a ton of fun, but there's certainly reliability issues with them.
So I'm with BMC 350. I would go with my Dissonant Arms. I would get me a Dissonant Arms and run that. He's got a KL-12 Elite. It's the answer to all the questions.
Come on.
So Dissonant Arms. There you go. That's what you need to run.
Those are beautiful shotguns. I definitely want one someday.
All right. So thanks to everybody who sent in questions. If I didn't read your question, I apologize. But everybody's still eligible for a prize. So I'm going to go through here. And for the SIL 1 and done, anybody have a favorite question that they want to reward them with a SIL 1 CLP cleaning kit? Anyone?
I kind of like the come out in PLA. I've thought about Zastava making something like that myself, and that sort of sparked my curiosity.
What are you holding up, Mark? A knife?
A pocket knife.
We'll talk knives when we get off. So come out and play. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the come out. Yeah, PLA. I think it's a 3D printer. That's why the PLA.
Okay, so come out and PLA. You have won the Seal 1 CLP cleaning kit.
Nice.
Contact me, talkinglead@gmail.com. Give me your mailing address. We'll send that to you. So we've got a drinky drink for Mission First Tactical, and we've got a dump tray, which is over here.
Does it have AK on it?
The dump tray?
Yeah. See,
it'll come with awesome. It'll come with the. It's not going to have the Occam on there, but it'll come with.
There's a lady holding an AK, right?
Well, I'm holding an AK.
That's sticker.
But wasn't the lady saying who's going to send me an AK?
There you go. So, Boomstick Babe, you get
a dump tray.
You get the Talking Lead dump tray, and I know she's into guns and cleans her guns, so this will be good for you to clean your guns on there, Alicia.
There you go. You got yourself an AK.
Alicia, you got you an AK from Talking Lead AK Corner. All right, how about the Mission First Tactical drinkware here, the big gulp? Who do you think should get that?
I'm looking through them right now.
Go.
The Isum 87 was good. He said, "Are AK shotguns typically as finicky as AR shotties?" That was a good question. I haven't seen him.
Oh, there you go.
Questions.
Let me see, Paul.
There you go.
You are holding up your knives. How about we go with that one?
Okay.
Isum?
Yeah, I mean, we
kind
of talked about that for a bit.
All right, Isum, you win the drinkware. So all the winners, email me, talkinglead@gmail.com, and give me your addresses so that I can forward those so you get your prizes. And tell me what you won. You got to tell me what you won because I'm not going to remember.
Yep.
There we go. Do you guys want to give anything away? You got anything y'all want to give away this episode?
I don't have a new book we don't have new books this week.
You don't want to give away one of your ARs? You got a new AR? Come on.
Yeah, there we go. We'll give away. I'll get Spikes to give. No, they're not sponsored.
I could use them as a sponsor if they want to sponsor. It'd be great. I'd love to have Spikes on.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
I'd love to have them.
What people need to understand is in this current climate, everybody says, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if this company made blah 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 blah." No one is investing in making anything new right now.
They're not even investing in advertising. So,
yeah, they're
cheap bastards. Yeah. All right, that does it, guys. Another great episode of the Talking Lead AK Corner. Big thanks to my guest Marco. Thank you so much for taking the time and being on again. Paul.
Thank you.
Love you, brother.
From Student of the Gun.
Thank you, Paul Markel, Student of the Gun. And he's got his new, say the name of the AR again.
Oh, it's the Lexington and Concord, an instrument of liberty.
Go
Available
to
from Spikes Tactical.
Spikes Tactical.
I wonder how many young people will understand that reference.
Google it.
Evan.
Google it. Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate
you joining us. You came prepared, just like I knew you would.
Thank you for having me.
And be looking for our post on the giveaway, and make sure you go and enter for the giveaway.
Yeah.
And you've got the code now, so get off my back.
Eagle Piss.
Eagle Piss is the code. All right. Until next.
So what's the next one?
The next what?
AK Corner.
Oh, what is this? This is September, so October. We got what would be a good October episode?
Well, you don't forget, October 18th is National Hug Your AK Day.
And we'll be coming out the 15th for the episode, so that would be good for you to be on in October so we can talk about the Hug Your AK Day.
Did you see the shirt design we just dropped?
I didn't.
Go to Show Marco, or you can stop recording. But show Marco, or you tell everybody.
I just pull it up. Yeah, I pull it up now. Tell me where to go.
Go directly to our shopsotg.com. It should be shopsotg.com. So we're doing a brand new shirt for Hug Your AK Day, but it's a pre-order, and we're doing it one time. So, but I want you to see it, and I want to get your reaction.
Run AKM.
Yep, there you go.
AKM, dig it.
Awesome.
Paul, you know I'm a AK-74 fan.
Well, I needed 3 letters, man. I needed 3 letters.
I dig it. So there you go, lead heads. Go check out.
I was good. Oh, go ahead.
Let me finish up, and then we'll continue our talking. So, lead heads, go and support all our sponsors. Seal One, go to seal1.com. Use the code LEADHEAD, get 25% off. Mission First Tactical, Leadhead, you're going to get 20% off there. Factory 47 for our AK logoed shirts, hats, hoodies, leadies, all the cool stuff. Factory 47 with a K, Leadhead, 10% off. Defiant Munitions, all caps, Leadhead, 10% off. Keltec, lowercase, Leadhead, 15% off. And then for Patriots, get prepared, stay prepared for all the disasters and unforeseen disasters that happen in your life. forpatriots.com, and all caps, Leadhead, 10% off your first purchase there. So until next month, Leadheads, which we'll decide what the episode's going to be. I think maybe bayonets. We should talk bayonets.
I was going to say that's what
I love that idea. I love that.
Yeah.
And I got them all too.
There you go. So bayonets, next episode, Leadheads. See you then.
We'll be bringing the collection out. Yeah.
And it's the National Hug Your AK Day, so get ready for that too.
Yeah, National Hug Your AK Day.
Damn it, the entire day is ruined. I got so many.
Eagle Piss.
Oh my God.